actually wanted to be a writer when I was 16, so my goal was to be a creative writing major somewhere, and then I got diagnosed. When I was 16, I had been losing a lot of weight. I was maybe 80 pounds, and I looked just horrible. It was awful. Everyone around me was kind of questioning, oh, do you have an eating disorder? What's wrong with you? You're sleeping all the time. You're drinking tons of water. This isn't normal. So I actually went to the doctors and got my blood work done. And literally within 24 hours, they had called me and told me I needed to be in the emergency room. So as I was walking into that emergency room, one of the nurses in there said, hey sweetie, how are you? And I was like, oh, I'm good. And I guess she was just making some small talk. And she was like, so how long have you been diabetic? I just paused and I looked at her and I was like, I'm not diabetic. I got put in an ICU for like 24 hours and they stabilized my blood sugar and kind of gave me the really bad news that I had type 1 diabetes. Now I'm, yes, Sydney the diabetic kid. One of the biggest issues that I've dealt with personally with diabetes is feeling very alone.
Mostly I'm just there for support. Like you can't be diabetic, you know, you can get as close as you want, but I mean, it's sport.
So it's really hard to go out and look for other people that have diabetes just to know exactly how you're feeling. So Martin is the librarian for the College of Medicine. I actually met him my sophomore year when I was trying to find someone on campus that had diabetes.
I've had diabetes, type 1 diabetes myself for 34 years. I like to compare it to a car. A person without diabetes may have an automatic transmission, and a person with type 1 diabetes, it's more of a manual transmission. You have to make the decisions to do what you need to do to go to the next speed in your day.
As soon as I wake up, I always check my blood sugar just because that's what you have to do. Like 6 to 8 times a day is what my doctor recommends. I always have to count how many carbs are in all my food. So typically 45 to 60 carbs is what my doctor recommends. You don't really think about all the things that can affect your life, but just going to finals week, for example, makes my blood sugars so high, and it's the most frustrating thing. And oh, sorry, that's my insulin pump. I have to change it.
The first insulin pump was the size of a backpack. It was enormous. Now they've gotten a lot smaller. The technology is catching up. Now we have touchscreen insulin pumps. We have them integrated with continuous glucose monitors. So the technology for diabetes has come so far.
You see somebody diabetic and it's almost a shock to see somebody like playing with a little computer or having a pod on them or needles or something. And they might think of like, oh, that's Sid the diabetic.
It's definitely something that can overwhelm you if you let it, but if you actually kind of celebrate the fact that you have diabetes and let it be part of your life, it's something that I absolutely love.
I think having diabetes, Sydney or anyone else, it's not something that really holds anybody back from accomplishing anything.
The diabetes camp that I went to is called the Florida Camp for Children and Youth with Diabetes, and it was actually a cycling camp. And within the 1 week that I was there, I actually cycled about 96 miles. So the biggest thing I got out of camp was that I can do anything. As I started to learn a little bit more about the diabetes community in general, and especially after going to diabetes camp, I really switched my career goals. My doctors at that diabetes camp really influenced me. They're kind of my role models and also my inspiration. They make it fun to have diabetes. They make it okay to have diabetes. And it definitely gave me the ability to tackle my disease and kind of overcome it. So I kind of want to be that person to other people as well.